What's happening, YouTube? This is your man, Dr. Jamm. If you're looking for that instructional video on how to put down funk, then look no farther. You found it. In this series that I've aptly named Undercover Tunes, we're going to be choosing some of the funkiest tunes known to man, and we're going to attempt to replicate them, but I'm also going to show you how to do it yourself. First of all, we have to start out with the equipment that you use. I've chosen this Tascam DP24SD. That's just a fancy way of saying a 24-track digital recorder. And I chose the 24-track digital recorder because out of the 24-track and the 32-track, they have the same amount of sliders. And when you're mixing down and you have to push buttons to get a flying mix because you don't have enough sliders to go along with the tracks, it becomes a little bit daunting. Not saying it can't be done, but I'm just not that good, I guess. As we take a look at the rear of the machine, you have your 8 direct inputs, microphone or line. You also have your guitar and line switch. So if you're putting down guitar, make sure you switch that over so you have a hotter input, and then switch it back over to line because I forget. You got your SD card where you store all your music at. I really don't like them, but hey, you gotta keep up with the time. And this particular slot right here, it's an old school USB. It's kind of hard to find them anymore, you know. That's the only thing I don't like about this back end, because you have to go find that old school stuff that they're gonna stop making sooner or later. Okay, as we focus our attention on the front, this used to be where they had that CD burner on it, and I love those because it was completely a self-contained unit. You have your remote and headphones right there. I've never used the remote. I guess I'm not that deep involved. Of course, you've got your great 24-track slides, which you control every track individual. And out of those 8 inputs, these are your gains that you can turn them up or turn them down. You know, your line, your guitar. Otherwise than that, it's just a straightforward device. If you ever used any kind of recording device before, they're all the same. But Tascam is really an old corporation. You know, it's really made by Teak. If you know anything about Teak, Teak used to make those tape decks and cassette deck boom boxes and stuff. So I don't know if they like that name better or what, but Tascam is made by Teak, so it's a pretty good product. This is probably my favorite part of all. You can arm 8 mono tracks and record them simultaneously. Here you can control all the individual tracks, and that's old school technique right there. You slide your finger across. You can arm or disarm those immediately. Here you have individual control of each input. And don't forget, you can turn them up and down and get everything right for your recording. This screen is a pretty good sized screen. You don't have no problem, looking at it. And this is the amount of time I have remaining on my 16 gigabyte memory card. It can handle up to a 32 gigabyte memory card, which is more than enough space so far from what I can tell. I have about 12 full-length songs on it and plenty of space left. Okay, let's kick up the volume and dive in so we can see what funk sounds like on this thing. I'm going to do a little bit of Cameo, She's Strange. And you can kind of hear the sound quality. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. You got to have some decent equipment, but overall, I'm kind of digging it. You tell me. This will give you an idea of how you can read the instruments on this screen here. You can see I've used about 6 tracks and maybe 8. The dual line side by side that you see there are just stereo tracks, so that's really just one track. that's my quick overview of the machine that I'm using. Once again, it is a Tascam 24 track. Here, you see the pans and stuff. It's all digital now. I like the old school stuff, but it works. Your effects send, the master effects send, all that's controlled with buttons. And it takes a bit of getting used to when you come from the old school like me. I was putting down tracks since '80. So, built-in equalizer to where you can get the sound just like you want to. So there are perks, you know, there are drawbacks, but you got to just roll with the flow. Okay, now we have to get into the best way to record your the levels of your instrument, because some of the biggest mistakes that I see is how people hook up their instruments and then wonder why their recording is not loud enough, or it's too loud or distorted or things of that nature. I'm using an old keyboard here, this the Yamaha DX7 circa 1982. One of the first synthesizers I ever owned. Now the first mistake is people want to use the headphones output. No. Don't use the headphones output unless you got on headphones. Use the output. That is what you want to come out of. It does make a difference. So you plug into that and then you go into the input of your machine. We'll go into A for the keyboard here. And on this particular machine, you have to go and assign certain things. First, let's create a new song. And we'll just leave it whatever it reads. It's going to read, what's that, song number 005 or 003, something like that. And that's what this song will be. Just to give you an idea of how you make a new song. But that's step one. Then step two, you have to assign each instrument. So since the keyboard is going to come in on 1, that's the source. Then you go up to the assign and then you say, hey, I want to assign this track 1 to this particular or whatever, you know. And you use the book manuals and you can do that. On track 2, I'm going to assign the guitar or bass, same thing. But I'm going to come into the very last track. I'm going to switch over to the guitar input, and that's going to kick up my volume, and you'll see that the guitar input has been activated, and so it's going to have a hotter volume. But I'm going to say, okay, that's track 2 is going to be number H, and I'm going to assign H. Then I can go and arm track 2, and bam, I'm ready to record my bass. So forth and so on. You get the picture. Okay, and once you get your levels adjusted, you can put down some pretty decent tracks. Let's take a look at the bass. As I pluck the bass, you can see that I'm not peaking. I'm not even in the yellow, but I can turn it up a little bit more, but I get a nice clean signal. That's what I'm looking for. So just follow this series, and we will get down to laying down tracks, but just like anything else, you have to do the foundational work first. My name is Dr. Jamm. I do approve this message. Oh, and by the way, all the music that you heard was put down on this machine. We'll get to that. Stick around.